Welcome to another learning adventure with me, Teacher Jerica. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to compose inverted sentences with correct subject and verb agreement. It might sound tricky, but don't worry, it's easier than it sounds. In my last video, we learned how to invert a natural order sentence. Who remembers what an inverted sentence is? Yes, an inverted sentence is when we switch the usual order of the sentence. Instead of having the subject come first before the verb, it's the other way around. For example, instead of saying, "The cat is on the mat," we say, "On the mat is the cat." This time, we are going to make sure our subject and verb agree in these inverted sentences. This means making sure our verbs match our subjects correctly. Now, what is subject and verb agreement? Subject-verb agreement means that the subject and the verb have to match or agree with each other. If the subject is singular or one, the verb should also be singular. If the subject is plural, meaning more than one, then the verb should be plural too. It's like making sure your shoes match. They just go together. Let's start with action verbs. Verbs that show what someone or something is doing. Example, if the subject is singular, like the cat, we say, "The cat runs fast." Singular subject, singular verb. If the subject is plural, like the dogs, we say, "The dogs run fast." Plural subject, plural verb. See how the verb changes? When the subject is singular, the verb usually ends in S, like runs, jumps, sits. But when the subject is plural, the verb usually doesn't have the S, like run, jump, and sit. Now, let's talk about the special kind of verb, be verbs. These are words like is, was, are, and were. Here's how subject and verb agreement works with be verbs. If the subject is singular, like the girl, we say, "The girl is happy." Singular subject, singular verb. But if the subject is plural, we say, "The boys are happy." Plural subject, plural verb. This also works with past tense verbs. Example, he was tired. He is the subject, was is the verb. Singular subject, singular verb. And they were tired. They is the subject, were is the verb. Plural subject, plural verb. Let's practice. I'll say a sentence and you decide which verb is correct. Ready? The cat are asleep on the couch. Which verb is correct? Yes, the answer is because the subject is singular. Next, the children plays in the park. What verb are we going to use? Yes, the answer is play because children is a plural subject. Let's now go to number 3. The books are on the shelf. What is the answer? Yes, the books are on the shelf. Books is plural, therefore we use a plural verb. Number 4. The dog barks loudly. Do you know what's the correct verb? It's barks with an S. It's because dog is a singular subject and therefore it needs a singular verb. Lastly, the flowers were blooming yesterday. What verb are we going to use for this sentence? Very good. It's were. Flower is a plural subject, and so it needs a plural verb. Great job! You're really starting to understand subject and verb agreement. Now, let's talk about how to ensure correct subject and verb agreement. Remember that no matter what kind of sentence we're dealing with, we need to follow these 3 steps to make sure the subject and verb agree. First, find the subject. Remember that the subject is the who or what is the sentence about. Next, determine whether the subject is singular or plural. And lastly, make sure the subject and verb match. If the subject is singular, then use a singular verb. If the subject is plural, use a plural verb. For example, in this sentence, in the tree are the birds. What is the subject? Yes, it's birds. What is the verb? Correct. It's are. Birds is plural, so we use are. But in the second sentence, in the tree is the bird. Bird is singular, and so we use is. Now, let's compare natural and inverted sentences. Here's a sentence in natural order. The dog is under the table. If we flip it, it becomes under the table is the dog. Both sentences need to have the correct subject and verb agreement. Whether the dog comes first or last stays the same because dog is singular. Now, let's do the same with the plural subject. The coins roll on the floor becomes on the floor, roll the coins. See how the verb remains the same no matter the order? It's practice time. Choose the correct verb for some inverted sentences. I'll show you a sentence and you pick the right verb. Are you ready? Great. Let's begin. Number 1. In the garden are the flowers. Which verb are we going to use? Very good. Are, because the subject flowers is plural. Number 2. Under the bed are the toys. What is the correct verb? You are correct. It's are, because our subject toys is plural and therefore it needs a plural verb. Number 3. At the park are my friend. Do you know what's the correct verb? Yes, it's is. Friend is a singular subject and therefore it needs a singular verb. Number 4. On the shelf are the books. What should we use? Yes, it's are, because books is plural. And lastly, beside the tree are a bench. Do you know what's the correct answer? Very good. It's is. Bench is a singular subject and therefore it needs a singular verb. Great job! Remember, the key is to make sure the verb matches the subject, even when the sentence is inverted. And because you did a fantastic job, I think you're ready for an independent activity. Now it's your turn to try it on your own. Choose the correct verb from the parentheses and rewrite the sentences in an inverted order. You may pause the video if you need more time. Now let's check your answers. Number 1. The trophies are on the shelf. What's the inverted sentence for this? Very good. It's on the shelf are the trophies. We use are because the subject is plural. Number 2. The cow is are over the hill. What's your answer for this? That's correct. It's over the hill is the cow. Number 3. The children wait near the gate. What is the inverted sentence for this? Very good. It's near the gate wait the children. Let's proceed to number 4. The horses run across the field. What is your answer? Yes, it's across the field run the horses. And let's go to number 5. A chair sit in the corner. Do you know the inverted sentence for this? That's right. It's in the corner sits a chair. You did an amazing job today. Remember, whether a sentence is inverted or in natural order, the subject and verb must always agree. Keep practicing and you'll get even better at composing and understanding inverted sentences. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time. Bye.